Sure, Masanawana, another installment of the Yellow Corner. Sure, Antona Zero.
Hola, Veron.
Oh, grand.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. Yeah, big one tomorrow. The one game that I don't enjoy, like most Sundowns games, when I'm not in the stadium, I have to watch it twice. Once live, and then the recorded version whereby I'm now relaxed. I don't emotionally. I'm in control of my emotions. But yeah, this one is one game where I don't enjoy because emotional. I invest so much emotions into this match, and I become something else. Even our late father, who was a really calm person, this game turned him into something else as well. So the Mutong household during this game would be something else, But those who are old enough would understand why. They won't understand why such happens. Show them the Chiefs tomorrow.
Yeah, no, this is a game. No. This is a game that is opening old wounds. We know what happened Hoffman's Cup. So like Sundowns fans always want revenge because of what happened a lot of years ago. So this is a game that everyone is looking up to. Chiefs they want to be on the top 8. Mamelodi Sundowns want to stretch the league.
Yeah, man. I don't think it will be as easy as most Sundowns fans think, and as most football lovers who don't support Chiefs think, because I think, yes, they might be having a terrible season domestically, but there's a lot of pride at stake, These guys, most of them, they are internationals, they are international teammates, they are friends off the field. So you can imagine Manyama, or when Mido bumps into his former teammates, if they lose, he's gonna the banter, and vice versa. So I don't think it will be as easy as a lot expect it to be.
Look, Thabiso, obviously this is a tough game, like you've said. There's a huge the stake is huge, and you look at Kaizer Chiefs before they played Orlando Pirates in their league. Like they were having a bad run, but they managed to get a win. So this kind of fixtures, it is where you can't write Kaizer Chiefs off. And also, like when they went to Guinea to play Horoya, everyone thought Chiefs won't come out alive when they went to Horoya, but unfortunately they drew and they qualified. So this is a tough fixture for both teams, and like you've said, there's also pride, and also Chiefs, like I've said, they want to secure the top 8, and a big team like Kaizer Chiefs always want to be in the top 8, no matter they are banned in terms of signing players or not, but they want to be in the top 8, and also stop Sundowns from being the invincible. I think that's one of the things that they want to go for in this game.
True. I had actually forgotten that. Yeah, even if we win it and we have one L at the end of the season, that L, if it belongs to them, it's
they will rejoice.
Yes, it will be like they've won a trophy this season if they were to be the ones who hand us our L. So I forgot my notes, so I'm proper gonna wing this, Gavin, I sense a bit of frustration and a lot of unhappiness from Gavin Hunt, having watched a lot of his post-match interviews recently. Have you sensed the same, Luen?
No, but Gavin is a type of coach who calls a spade by spade. Like, it doesn't beat around the bush. Would say everything on his interview. So I think it because of the performance, and also the senior players not stepping up and playing for him. So I think that is one of the key things that causes frustration, and also knowing that he doesn't know whether next season he will come as a Kaizer Chiefs coach or they will keep him. But then if I was given out, I would also be frustration because if you look at the key players that he has, they are not players that who are rising and also guiding the youngsters like Bongobo and also helping Kaizer Chiefs, the likes of Parker, Kudimato. They have to step up, and this is a game where you expect experienced players to step up and help the team to get a positive result.
Yeah, when I talk frustration, not necessarily to do with what's happening currently, but I sense he's frustrated at yes, the results, like you said, the experienced players not leading by example, but I think it has more to do with the future actually, because I don't think he will get the players that he wants. I think he's told the management who and what he wants, and I think they are not on the same page with the management from what I'm reading from him and what publications are saying, so I think he's starting to censor this might be more difficult than he would have thought, but yeah, get up on that. They lost against Cape Town City in their last three. They've only picked up 2 points in the league. That is, they've only picked up 2 points coming from draws, and they lost their last game where Cape Town City absolutely dominated them in the first half.
Yeah, no. Cape Town City, especially from the first whistle until the 60th minute, like Cape Town City were on top of them, were dominating the game. Mokeke and Makola and Notata, like they were dominating the middle field. And the negative part that Kaizer Chiefs did in this game is to have one holding midfielder who is Blom. So he was forced to do a lot of stuff in the middle because of a player like Parker and Ngobo won't help you defensively. As much as Ngobo is good at picking up the ball and playing those short passes, but defensively he won't give you that much that Bakas or Willard Katzandi can give you. So I think that is where Cape Town City dominated the game, and also the silly and small mistakes that Kaizer Chiefs did in their previous game against Cape Town City. Like Cape Town City managed to capitalize. You look at the goal that they scored, the first one, Maurice. They because of Cape Town City had a lot of players in the middle. There was a point when Gezan, who is a right back, was forced to come in the middle, and he left his space open, and he gave Teres Mashiko a space to overlap and put in a cross. And Maurice was in between Cardoso and Mato. He had a lovely tap in inside the box. And the second goal, they come lack of pressing. They invite him Galani to take a shot. Why don't they press him? And also when they retreat, when Galani was about to take a shot, instead of facing the ball, I don't know who's the defender that wanted to hide him, to hide his body and look at the opposite direction, and the shot was deflected and it went in, and Kune couldn't have time to come back and seek the ball. So I think the little mistakes that they did in that game cost them 3 points.
Yeah, man. Like you look at them, you see more negatives than positives in that team. You look at their backline. The backline. By backline, I'll also include their goalkeeping department. Like their rivals, Pirates. They don't have a stable goalkeeper. They don't have a well-trusted number one. And they chop and change, and none of their goalkeepers is convincing. You look at their back four, there's no balance at all in that back four. You have Frosler, who's playing left back when he's a right back, and it's not like they're doing it like we did against TTM that tactical change that we did in the second half in the away league game. You have Ngezani who has a big body frame, who is tall. It's rare to find fullbacks who are that tall and with the same body frame, who are actually good in that position, because you turn a lot in that position. Ngezani probably will like, so he takes a lot of time to turn. It's easy to take him on as a winger. You have Cardoso, I used to like Cardoso a lot from his days at Free State Stars. I used to think he was a good player, and when he started, he was really good at Chiefs. I think he was good, but I don't know what's happened to him in recent times. Tower is no longer the same player that he was, man. Tower has been, I don't want to say finished, but yeah, for a while. I mean, remember when Kemet was still at Pirates, that game where he tossed and turned him? How many years ago was that? Probably 5, 6, 7 years ago. And today he's still their main center back. Hey man, they have problems at the back. Hey, they concede every game.
Yeah, no. You look at they've played 22 games and they've conceded 26 goals. And Chiefs has been known for good defensive players. You look at when Stuart Baxter was there, like Mato and Tefuma Shamet were one of the best centre back pairing in the PSL. But now it's disappointing to see them consider like goals that they should have at least managed to prevent going in. And also sometimes defending starts go up front in the midfield. How about to defend? Like, there's nothing defenders can do because of defending starts up front. If Nokovic is going to press alone, especially against Cape Town City, Nokovic was pressing alone. Like, there were no players who were following and also helping to initiate that press forward. So I think what they do is start defending up front, stop teams by building up from the back and making it easy for the teams to build up. You look at Mukeke, like there was no one who was pressing Mukeke. Like Mukeke would have the ball, delay, run slowly, switch sides, play those short passes in the midfield. So if you stop that, I think they can have chances of winning the games or getting draws. But if they're gonna expect only defenders to defend, I think that would still cause a huge upset in their game.
I was watching that game, particularly in the first half, and when I saw what Mukeke was doing, I smiled. Thinking of River doing the same, thinking of our two aides. Like my mind was already on Sunday. What the damage that will cost them, And but I think in this game, Kevin doesn't want to get embarrassed, especially by Sundowns, and he knows he can't go toe-to-toe with Sundowns, so he'll be very cautious. They might have a low block, and they won't be. I doubt they will be pressing. I think he's gonna tell Nokovic not to press. Maybe they will sit back and be more cautious, because we are one team that you don't want to give space to, and the way Cape Town City opened them up in the first half, he knows with Sundowns, if Sundowns opens him up like that, he can get absolutely destroyed. I don't know how many passes Nodada had where they had the Chiefs defense facing their own goals. Like, but through ball. I'm thinking, where's the midfield here? Why are they not marking? Why are the City players always free?
It is because of you have two number 8 who can press and mark. You have Parker. Like, Parker doesn't offer Chiefs like Parker at least when he gets the ball, you can see what he's trying to do by linking up with the front players. But Parker, he doesn't offer Chiefs nothing, like in terms of pressing, and also when the team has possession. So it's like it makes Njabulo Blom look like like a poor player because of they outnumber him in the midfield, so he can't do much because of like Kima Makola and not other, like we're having fun in the middle of the park. So I think what Chiefs need to do is to strengthen the middle field, whether they bring in a guy like Katzande who can bite the players, or bring Bakas who can help defensively, because of playing Ngobo and Parker doesn't help them defensively, and play team like Chiefs conceding 26 goals, like it is poor. And I think this is a game where they know if they continue with their poor defensive, like Sundowns will punish them. And one thing about Sundowns, whether they play a low block, that means we'll be able to play those combination play in front of them. If they play highlight, that means we have advantage to use Shalule and play the ball behind their slow two center backs.
Yeah, and another thing is that if they with how they set up in most games where they have Akira Fosler at right back, ne, and at left back, and he's left-footed, ne, and Ngezane offers nothing going forward, ne. With Fosler, he's now forced to use his weaker foot, the left foot, to cross, ne. And by the way, he still has a good cross on him when he uses his left, but the difference is that when he uses his left, he floats, and then when he uses his on the right, when he uses his right, he whips. And as you know, it's easier to score from a ball that's whipped, because you just give it direction. A floated one, you have to give it power, So in this game, I think our every time he attacks, because of the two fullbacks, I think he'll be the one who will be given a bit of license, not a lot of license, a bit of license to go forward. So we should always force him to use his weaker foot, And Ngezane offers them absolutely nothing going forward. So I think that's one side that And when from another thing, as you mentioned, in the middle, they miss having Katzande when he was someone like Katzande when he was at his best. They don't have bite in the middle. They don't have someone, when in the middle, we don't have dirty players. We don't have players who will foul, but we have players who are smart in terms of making tactical fouls, especially Lebo. Bonari don't have someone like that, and so they lack bite in the middle field. Hence, it's always free for all for the teams. Hadiba attack, right?
Yeah, no, they are easily dominated in the middle field, and Katzande, as much as people say is a dirty player, but that's what you want from a defensive midfield. You want someone who would go there, like put his foot there and tackle and win those balls. As much as Katzande on the ball is not good as the likes of River, but defensively, like he does help the team, and also in terms of the aerial balls, he can score with his head, and also he can and use he can help the team to defense, and also when they are the opposition are attacking, he knows how to help the likes of Tower and also cover for their fullbacks. So having Anjabulo Blom, who's recently graduated from the MDC, and like being exposed like that, like Mdiamo Yalena is a boy because of like he gets exposed in the middle field. So this is a game where Chiefs, like, they have to play with double six, or have number 2, number 8 who can help the team to defend.
Yeah, and I think they have 2 players who just graduated from the MDC, playing in very key positions, because central positions are very important. It's easy to make a mistake on the side. We can quickly rectify it. But if you make mistakes more, you give teams direct route to goal. So they have Bloom and Mshini more positioning there, So let's talk about the what they're good at. I like Mshini. I've liked that watching that boy from the MDC. He can see a pass. He can make the team play. He gets on the ball. Like he's really good on the ball. He's going to be a great player, Mshini. There's the threat, Yakama. There will always be a threat, Yakama. He's a quality player, and you don't want him to get on the ball. And there's the aerial balls in the final third of the oppositions. They rely on crosses, and they are very good at them. So this is why I think we need to cut the supply. Forget about worrying about Nokovic getting at the end of the crosses, but cut the supply. Make sure we don't have them crossing the ball a lot. Because remember, Cape Town City, when I think I called you a Sunday voice note, 8 minutes into the game, I've lost count of the number of crosses that they had played. So we'll obviously dominate play, we'll dominate possession, we'll have a lot more of the ball, and they can't do anything without the ball. For what they do to be effective, they need the ball. Unlike Pirates, where especially Coach Wulan, remember he said Pirates is dangerous without the ball. Chiefs are not dangerous without the ball, because for what they good at, they need the ball. They really need the ball. So when things that you've picked up that they are good at,
like the what you've mentioned about cutting the supply. When you cut the supply for Kaizer Chiefs, that means Nokovic doesn't receive the ball as frequently as he would have loved. What it does, it forces him to go wide and also to drop deep to collect the ball, and that gives them advantages when they get the ball in the wings and cross those ball. And we found out Nokovic is not on the box because of he went outside the box to collect the ball, or he went in the wing to get the ball. And also, like you've said, advantages of them is that they have a wonderful player who's not afraid to turn, who's not afraid to control the tempo of the game and to switch sides. And there's something that I mentioned about Chiefs when they played Orlando Pirates in the first leg or second leg of the MTN. They said the reason why Chiefs are struggling up front is that two of their best players are playing far wide between each other. You look at Manyama, you look at Kam. There's always like a huge space between them, and these are players that you want them to combine. You look at the game against Baroka that Manyama scored because of they were close to each other, and it was easy for them to play those short passes, and Manyama running to the space and scoring a lovely goal. That's what you want to see in the Kaizer Chiefs. And also, these are two players who have won Football of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. So you'd want them to give you more, and also use the individual brilliance of Kamabilat, but do not rely on him, and also help him in terms of sharing Moralowa team, and also linking up with them. And also, Chiefs, like you have said, they are good in terms of heading the ball inside the box. The goal that they scored against Cape Town City, the Cape Town City defense were more worried about Nokovic in the near post, and when they were worried about him, they left Bakas behind, and he had an easy header, and it went in. So Chiefs, they're a team that have good players, but I don't think Gavin Hunt knows how to use them in their good positions. And I think if Manyama could play that will give us a lot of work in terms of defensive, and also make sure that you have Nokovic inside the box or on the edge of the box. And good thing about Nokovic, he can protect the ball, he can bully the defenders, and also you can play those wall pass to him, and he can trap the ball with his start, and Manyama could come and take a shot. So I think they should, Gavin should know how to use these players, and Libona, Bumanyama and Kamabila should step up and play close to each other, and not rely only on crosses, and also play those short passes, play those combination plays, and give Ngobo a freedom to collect the ball and do as he pleases in the middle field, and not give him too much work and to be worried about defending and doing all the tackling and all this stuff. So I think Chiefs can still cause an upset to Mamelodi Sundowns. This, you can't write them off. They still have quality players.
How do you think? Okay, I'll tell you how I think they will set up. I think they will obviously have E2 at 1, Ngezane at right back, Cardoso and Tower, centre backs, and Forslight left back. Central midfield, initially, I thought they will go with Blom and Parker like they did against Cape Town City. But having thought about this, I think, yes, they will have both, but instead of Ngobo, because Gavin knows that they won't have a lot of the ball, so there won't be a need for Ngobo as such. So rather have someone who will run in the middle field, add a bit of steel. So I think he will go for Bakas. So I think his midfield three will be Bakas, Blom, and Parker. And then front, they normally, when they off the ball, Nto plays on the right, Lebo, he plays on the right. But as soon as they get the ball, in recent games, he goes into 10. So Udala in between off the ball, he's on the right in a 4-4-2, and then when they have the ball, he goes into 10. He goes more central. Then they will have Nokovic and Kama up top.
Yeah, no. I think he will start Bakas because of, you can see when Bakas came on, he gave Chiefs something positive in those minutes that he played. But now, if I was given, I would start with 6-6, like have Katsande and have Blom, but Obashute stay there, do not move, and have up front four, have Zuma, have Manyama, have Bilal, and have Nokovic up front, so that you have Zuma like who is good in terms of emulating players and creating spaces. We also on the left side have Kama, who can carry inside or can go wide and put in those crosses, and also have Manyama behind Nokovic. And no, Manyama is a good pass of the ball, and also he can take shots outside the box. So if you play him wide, you restrict him, like you won't do what he does when he's central or behind the number 9. So playing as a 10 or as a 8, Lena, he can also help defensively, can also help Katande and Blom. But knowing Kevin Hunt as a coach that doesn't do a video analysis, I think you'll go for Bakas, Parker, and Jabulo Blom.
Yeah, no, we've spoken a lot about them. Let's move on to us. We have had a bit of time to rest in between our last game and our next game, and I think it will show in terms of the tempo game. What do you think about that? A day's rest goes a long way, especially at this time of the season.
On the review, the boss said that Lebuma Boy was the one who had stamina, who has the energy, who was doing a lot of work in the midfield. And it is true because of Lebo managed to rest because it was suspended on the game before we played Amazon. So I think this little rest that we got, it can be very helpful because of that we have played in a tight fixture. So I think it will help us because of we managed to relax, and we managed to recover from playing the congested game. So I think, and also playing on Sunday, it helped us a lot. So I'm looking forward to see how fit and ready is our team.
Yeah, yeah. And another thing, I actually spoke about this Linneo a while back, maybe a month or so ago. We were talking, I can't remember, but we were talking about the tactics. No? And initially, at the beginning of the season, when we played with Kemet and Shalile up front before Gaston came back, we played Kat Diamond. We played with Mshish at 10 and with the two ahead of him, you know. And when he played them, Chiefs, we played like that. And we opened them up, man. The runs those two were making, the way they were turning the defense. And do you think we should play a diamond tomorrow or continue with how we've played since Gaston came into the picture, whereby you have that front three with the 2 10s and a 9 instead of 2 9s and a 10 earlier on in the season? Because it worked. You scored 3 against them and could have been more when we played that diamond.
True, but you have to take it to account that it was the first game of the league and everyone was fit and everyone was available. And also, as much as it worked out, like we've changed a little, but we don't know how Chiefs is going to line up, but we have predicted their lineup. But now I'll still play with 2 number 10s, because of when you play with 2 number 10s, that means your number 10 will tag in and play in the middle and play in front of Chiefs. And when you have Gaston and Mushish playing as number 10s, you know that you have a player that can dish out those through balls. But when you have 2 number 9s, you have people who are up front who are waiting for the balls. But when you have 2 number 10s, you have 2 people who come to collect the ball and link up with that single number 9. So when you have 2 number 9s, like, it becomes difficult for a number 10 because of he has to do that job alone of collecting the ball. But when you have the 2 number 10s, Gaston and Shish, like, Ara can collect the ball wide, Ara can collect the ball centrally, and also Shalulile, they can help him in terms of supporting him behind. But having two number 9s, it's number 9s who are waiting to receive the ball because of they just want to score, but Boshalule, Gaston and Shishi, they'd want to give them, they fetch the ball and kick the ball forward. So now I play with 2 number 10s.
I get you. And I think this is going to be a game that's going to require a lot of patience, you know. I honestly think Chiefs is going to sit back, low block, because I really think Gavin knows what he could easily get embarrassed. So he's going to sit back and tell them to be cautious, you know. Maybe gives a certain players license to add numbers forward, but they will rely on set pieces. He'll tell them, stay in the game, you know, stay in the game. Don't let it get away in the first half, you know. So we are a team that possesses possession every time we play, and I think we'll do the same tomorrow. And we're really going to need to be patient, you know. And I like that about our team. We can be really patient, you know. We know when to take it a notch or 2 up. We know when to cool it down. So tomorrow we might go into the first half. I know it will frustrate our supporters, but we will go into the second half still a stalemate. So yeah, I think a lot of patience will be needed tomorrow. They will sit back, and we might take a while to open them up, but eventually we will, with the threat that we pose up front. I think we will, you know. And the thing of reaching 50 points tomorrow should be motivation to our boys, eh?
Yeah, no, like, we have to go for a win. And also, like you've said, Givenant will want to be cautious. I think this is a game where Givenant wouldn't mind getting a draw, because of they're facing a team that is having quality players, a team that is doing well, a team that is that is competing locally and in Africa. So I think, like you have said, he knows if the score stays 0-0 until Boma 60th minute, he has a chance to score that one goal and defend. He knows when the score is still 0-0, they can get something out of the game. But if they concede an early, he knows it is game over for them.
Yeah. Something tells me this will be Gaston's game. I've had that feeling for the last couple of days. Tells me this will be Gaston's game. And I'd really love to see him Limshishi very close to each other like they normally are. In that game, Mazul, there were points where they would be close to each other, and every time they were close to each other, something would come out of that. There's a time where they both went to the middle on our left in the second half. One of them flicked the ball, and then it went to the other one, and then before you knew it, the ball was through to Peter, who cut in and Abaraya near Polia, so I really want them to be close to each other because they are playing in defense like the defense that they will easily turn. You remember the goal that we scored last season in Orlando against them, where Mshishi, I think, ends a back heel, and then I can picture Ntotse going into the game tomorrow because of the way their defense is. They can target and get sideline Gezana because, as I said, he will take long to turn. It will take a while to turn. It will be easy for us to turn him. So, amen. I really hope we can turn them, but our players need to bring their A game. I will hope the boys will be really motivated. They will have their A game on. Like against Pirates. They had everyone was. So I hope it's like that as well tomorrow. And it was great to have Dennis keep a clean sheet after a while.
Yeah, we have been conceding, but those goals are goals that I think any goalkeeper can't stop. Like you look at the goal that he conceded, go cheaper, and the goal that he conceded, go Loftus when we played Orlando Pirates in the Nedbank. Like those goals that not keeper can do much, but you'd want to at least try to stop certain things and stop the ball early from reaching the final third. So I think this clean sheet gave Dennis a confident going to the next game against Kaizer Chiefs, because you know that this is a game where we want to keep a clean sheet and do not let Chiefs score an ill goal or score first before Mamelodi Sundowns. So I think this game against Kaizer Chiefs, we want Dennis to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, and earlier on you mentioned how Nukovic bullies the defenders. I'm happy with our centre back pairing. They don't take. Musa showed Benny on Wednesday. So Musa, if he needs to be dirty, he can be a dirty boy. So is Rochelle, and they both enjoy going for the aerial ball. So I'm really looking forward to that tussle between Bonali and Nukovic, And yesterday, the guys from front runner, Greg Itafia mentioned already, Peter got a knock in training. So he mentioned him being a doubt, but it was late in the day because earlier on, Coach Hulane said we have a clean bill of health. So but the thing with knocks is that painkillers, unlike a muscle injury, impact injuries you can manage, or we can take a risk of playing like a muscle injury. Say Peter is can't play. Say he can't play. Do we start Gift or Kemet? Because I think Kemet will be on the bench tomorrow.
I would start Gift. I would start Gift because of Gift, like against Amazulu came on, and the little time that he got, you can see that he gave the team something. He nearly had an assist where he got the ball for Mudiba. So I bring in Gift. An advantage about Gift is that, like, Gift, you can feel his presence, like he uses his physique, and also I think he's getting there in terms of his fitness. You look at Kemit. Kemit is a player that comes from, I can say, a little bit long injury, and the disadvantage about Kemit is that you can start with him and you won't finish the first 45 minutes, so you want to bring him gradually and introduce him slow to the game, and maybe him coming from the bench and coming in for Gift. But now I'll start Gift.
All right, let's get into the lineup. The other day before our game against the Mazulu, I said you will go first when we do this one. Yeah, Chiefs.
And now I'll start.
Why are you making it seem difficult?
I'd start in the I'm having like two thoughts, like but I'm studying the previous lineup that played against Amazulu. But on the other hand, the thought that I have is that I'm starting to think that this game with two number 9s can give us something. As much as I disagree with you, but I'm starting to think of it can give us something. And also resting Mkulisi. Like Mkulisi has played a lot of games in field. Has played a lot and we saw, like, second half against Amazon, he was losing a lot of balls. Like, his passing accuracy was poor. And this is what happens when the fatigue start kicking in a little bit, that you lose simple passes, like you are always late on the ball. This is what happens when, like, you've played a lot of minutes compared to other players. So, but still, I'll go with the previous lineup.
Yeah, Spelele has played a lot of minutes there, but I think, remember, we played Wednesday, we're playing Sunday. So we have had time to rest. That extra day's rest will do him a world of good. Trust me, he will be up for it. And when you play big games, you dig deep, man. The thing is, once the mind, once the legs go, let the mind goes, you start making the past trouble. But when it comes to the big game, you dig deep. It takes a long time before the legs go. The motivation to beat Chiefs will be there. So, yeah, I think let's go with the lineup here: Mazulu, Dennis, Morena, Deruk, Mosa, Lake, Riva, Spelele, Lebo, Gaston, Shika, le fingers crossed for his feet. Yeah. Predictions?
We'll win 2-1.
2-1. Goal scorer?
Yeah. We'll have Peter and Mabowi.
All right. I'm going with 2-1 as well, but different goal scorers. If Peter is fit, he will score and Gaston will score. I have a feeling this will be Gaston's game. I don't know why, but I have a feeling this will be Gaston's game. Yeah, Masanawana. That's it. That's another installment of the Yellow Corner. At the end of the season, I will tell you a lot about this episode and shooting it. I don't want to say it now. We'll tell you guys at the end of the season when we do the season review. I will share, some funny things about this episode. Yeah, man. Don't forget to subscribe, comment with your preferred lineup, and all the best to the boys, the technical team. Let's win this one. Because losing against this team, like any defeat, but this team can. So win it for me. Forget about the rest of the guys. Just win it for me, please. Don't forget to like I said, comment and subscribe and like. we'll see you on Tuesday when we do our preview against another high-flying KZN team. Shalom, Dogish.
Sharp, sharp, that is.
Sharp, sharp.